Okay. 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 Good morning, everyone. How is everybody's day today? It's not too bad. I'm having some tech issues this morning, but other than that, things are alright. I'm okay. Okay. This just flipped over. It says, your wish will manifest with faith and trust. I'm going to take that deck too. What deck are we using today? Interesting. Of course it did. Just give me a sec, guys. This one's also not recording, so I don't know if it's gonna actually properly work. Meaning I don't know if the VOD is gonna work, so I don't know if this one will be posted. I hope so, but I can't get it to record. There we go. So I'm being pulled to this one today, which is not a surprise. There is a weird energy in the air right now. What is that guidebook? There it is. So first we're gonna cleanse this outlay way too. I have been channeling this song for like a week straight. I'm gonna put it in the chat in a second. But first, let's spirit, ancestors, and angels of the highest love, light, and regard, I would like to call upon you at this time to cleanse the space of any and all negative energies, entities, and darkness. Cleansing these decks of any negativity and anything that needs to be banished off of them. Bringing forward only the energy of love, light, and truth for the collective today. Okay. So, interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure when I posted that video last night on TikTok stating that we were going to be doing today was like the collective reading, I'm pretty sure I had mentioned that I was picking up on an energy of like heaviness. So a lot of you could have been going through it lately, especially mentally. So I was first pulled to this oracle deck, which is the Psychic Tarot Oracle. So we're just going to see what comes out from this one. And what is that song called again? I have to Google it. Right. The last 2 days were kind of off. Your anger has been through the roof. Also same with the last 2 days. That makes sense. My anger has been like this too. But I'm in my luteal phase, so like, you know, all bets are always off then. Very hopeful those aren't see-through. Okay. So, let's see. What do we have for the collective today? Interesting. Interesting. So we do have sacrifice at the bottom of the deck. Bless me. Oh my goodness. Something about this rainbow keeps pulling me in. I don't know. Like, that's kind of giving, like, a light at the end of the tunnel. It's kind of giving, like... Thank you, guys. It's kind of giving, like, a shift into a positive direction. Something positive is unfolding, is what I just heard. So those of you that have been kind of going through the ringer the last couple of weeks, if not months, I feel like there's a transformation that's starting to occur for you. And it's almost like, with this card especially, it's almost as though whatever you just experienced in the last chapter of your life actually had a lot to do with you finding more spiritual power, more strength within yourself to kind of lift yourself above the madness, is what I just heard. I don't know why, but I just saw like the Mad Hatter in my mind's eye. From like Alice in Wonderland. I am seeing the Johnny Depp rendition of that, so like that could be important. And then we have fertility. And then we have harmony. Okay, and then we have financial and material changes. Some of you, part of what could be shifting in a positive direction could be both like your connections with others, whether this is romantic, platonic, or familial, as well as like your financial stability, your relationship with money is shifting in a positive way. So those of you that part of what you've been struggling with could have correlated towards your finances, I feel like there's a shift in this energy where you're starting to attract a lot more abundance and you're starting to kind of shift into a more secure position financially speaking. Fertility, like oftentimes when people see that energy in tarot, they immediately assume that this means like pregnancy or things like that, but fertility has like a multitude of different meanings. 1111 on this stream too. 9 times out of 10 to me, that is actually about like new life forming. It's new opportunities. It's things opening up for you in a new way. And I feel like for a lot of you, the reason this is happening is because of whatever you just experienced. It's once again like you've lifted things above you. You've moved beyond your current circumstances. Something about like your heart center, your heart chakra could be important for this collective. I'm sorry about the lights, the glare there. I'm like kind of sensing for a lot of you, there's like a birthing of a new idea forming. Something that's been kind of lying dormant for quite some time. An idea that like is going to open you up to a new reality or a new cycle in your life. The tree in the background, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's like a tree behind her. It's really kind of giving me, I'm hearing the tree of life, but it's also reminding me that the spirit wants you to make sure that you're staying grounded. And like some of you need to connect with nature in order to ground your energy. Take that how it resonates, of course. They're also showing me something about like your third eye chakra and your crown chakra. So the upper chakras as a whole could be really important for this collective right now, especially your crown, your third eye, and your heart space. Okay, whether your throat is in that mix or not, I don't know. And then I feel like this is what's coming towards you. Do we see that green orb there too with the 2 hands? Something like I'm hearing heart healing could be coming in for this collective. Interesting. You just stalked Alice in Wonderland lip gloss. That's a thing. So we're going to read some stuff from the Oracle deck here in a second. Like I want to know what I always personally, I know, okay, hot take. I know that a lot of people throw the guidebooks away. Personally, for me, when it comes to an Oracle deck like this one, if there's a guidebook for it, there's a reason. Okay, like I personally find that sometimes the answers actually come from the book versus what I'm seeing in the cards. Not the same for tarot. Is this way for Oracle for me. Now, everybody reads differently. If you don't align with that, that's okay. We are allowed to be different. But that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, at the Dollar Tree, we got stuff like that. Ooh, cool. All right. Spiritual strength. Fertility. That's even more aligned, man. Like, I'm telling y'all, it's almost like something... You were facing some sort of a challenge in order to kind of like lift yourself up above it. For some of you, this definitely had to do with your anger, like learning how to kind of regulate your anger or your emotions in a more healthy and grounded way versus allowing it to kind of go like this. I don't know why I just heard she's a narcissist. Don't love that. I'm also kind of like a firm believer that that term is thrown around a lot on the internet, so just be mindful of that, okay? Bottom of the deck currently is the 8 of Pentacles. Interesting. Something about the hyenas are really pulling me into this visual. Something about that movie could be important. I also dropped one. Interesting. Dollar Tree has their own liquid IV, FYI. They are just amazing. Interesting. I've never done the liquid IV thing. It kind of freaks me out, but that's just me. So, Before we read from this guidebook, I do want to kind of like show y'all what came out clarifying. So we have this spiritual strength clarified by I think this is the Nine of Pentacles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. The Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Sorry, I'm not super familiar with this tarot deck. And then we have the Fertility with the Death in the reversed and the Hanged Man. Very interesting energy. Then we have Harmony with the Ten of Swords and the King of Pentacles. What did I tell y'all about heart chakra healing? Then we have financial and material changes. And this is the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. 2 nines here. There is definitely some sort of like a completion of a cycle for this group. A chapter is closing. For a lot of you, this ties into your finances. So if you've been struggling financially, if you've been feeling blocked in your financial stability and what you need in a financial way, this is changing in a positive way. There could be some challenges before that happens, though. So, like, I don't know how else to explain this, but there could be an unexpected bill that comes forward. Like maybe your car needs maintenance unexpectedly, or maybe you have to move very suddenly and all of a sudden you need like a big deposit, or maybe you're actually buying your own home and you're about to put a down payment on it and like that money's going to be taken. I don't know. There's just something about a lump sum of money that's disappearing, but it's actually a return on investment is what they're saying. So like example, if your car needs work, putting money into it is actually going to make it run smoother. If you're putting money into a new home, you're putting money down into your future. You know what I mean? So it might be like a lump sum of money is being taken from you, but it's going to like triple in time is what I just heard. Okay. They also want me to mention being taken from you. That terminology is part of what could be shifting for this collective. You could be recognizing that like how you speak and how you view your finances is part of what's shifting, okay? In a positive way as well. Hi, everyone. Where is that? All right, so this one here is the spiritual strength once again. And again, like, as I said in the very beginning, for those of you that just joined the stream, I saw this as those of you that have been experiencing some sort of a challenge or an obstacle in your life, you are about to rise above it, which is making me think of that channeled song that I did a reading for on TikTok recently, Rise Up. I feel like this is exactly what this last chapter has been about. For some of you, this has been the last 2 to 3 years. Others of you, it's just been a couple weeks or a couple months. These are collective, okay? But whatever you were experiencing, you are about to kind of upgrade above it. You are about to expand your consciousness in a really beautiful way. So this card coming forth to give you encouragement and remind you that you have the inner strength to complete whatever you've been working on. The final spirit card represents courage, discipline, stability, and persistence. You may be tired or weary from the struggle, but now is not the time to give in. Instead, tap into all of your inner reserves for that one final push to achieve the desired outcome. You've been through so much to get to this point, and even though you may have acquired some scars from battle, you're wiser and stronger for it. The enlightenment you gained will be an invaluable resource. You also may notice that you're experimenting with different things in your life at this time. All these experiences feed your spirit and offer you knowledge for the future. I like that. Then we're going to move into the fertility card. Someone is trying to I don't know how to explain this. This is going to sound cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, so if you don't believe in that, you can just carry on your day, okay? Just don't take this piece. Someone is trying to bait this collective. They're trying to poke you. They're trying to trigger you because when you spiral out of control emotionally or you get dysregulated in your nervous system, they take your power. This is giving energy vampire. It's giving someone's trying to feed off of you. It's giving siphoning. It's no longer working, which is causing them to do this. So they could be trying new innovative ways to try to kind of, take your light, if you will. I feel like the more you stand firm in yourself, the more grounded you are, the more you acknowledge your emotions as they surface, the easier it's going to be for you to kind of just go through this with ease. There's something about how like you have interaction with this person on a pretty semi or regular basis. They're showing me this could be a coworker, a family member, like I'm specifically hearing your daughter's father. Others of you, it could just be your child's father. Some of you, it could be a friend, I don't know, a sibling. Take it however it resonates for you, but whoever this is, they know they're losing control. Okay, and because they know they're losing control, it's causing them to kind of project more. But whatever their projection is, it's not your responsibility. At the end of the day, no matter what this person's going through within themselves, no matter what triggers they're experiencing, it's not your job to fix them. Anywho, we have fertility. Through this card, the manifestation of growth is on the horizon. You're the creator, and the seeds that have been planted in the past, whether they were happiness, comfort, abundance, prosperity, family, children, ideas, or even thoughts, are now ready to give birth into your world. Be patient as you watch your seeds take root and grow. Nurture them as they become strong and healthy. Open yourself to the life force of the universe. This card also represents femininity and the Mother Earth, who is calling to you. The arms of her beauty are reaching out. She wants to embrace you on her seahorse, mountains, forest, and gardens. Go to her and meet her halfway. Acknowledge that same energy that makes up the heavens, earth, plants, animals, and minerals in the kingdom is also a part of you. Start nurturing yourself and infuse your soul with love and compassion. Soon others will see and feel your devotion. As you interact with others around you, now or even if you're in the midst of solving a problem, use the gentle care and kindness as you handle such situations. This isn't a time for you to be inconsiderate, possessive, domineering, forceful, or pushy. Act from loving space of your heart center. The benevolent energy that resides there will assist you in making sacrifices, interesting, in order to care for and help others as well as yourself. This corresponds to the Empress card. I also think that's really intriguing energy considering what I just said. It's almost like Spirit's gently reminding you that in order for you to overcome whatever energy I was just feeling, whatever person is trying to bait you into a cycle, maybe that's where that narcissist message came from. Whatever energy is trying to bait you into a cycle or trying to like stifle your light, trying to take your power, whatever the case may be, whoever or whatever this is, the more you find compassion, the more you find kindness in your heart towards it, the more you're going to go above. Something about like blue energy, which to me, blue is the color of truth. So there could be some sort of truth that you are seeing. Truth is coming to light, which is making me think of that TikTok reading we just did. Like, what was that yesterday? And then we have harmony. I also just started channeling a song. I will put it in the chat. Oh yeah, for those of you that this is your first time on a stream, welcome to Weird Avery. You are going to see my authentic self because there's more time for that to be seen. On short little videos on TikTok, you don't really get to see my personality as much, but you're going to see it over here. And I hope that's okay. I don't really care if it's not. Anyway, harmony. Let's see what this is. I sing everything, yes. Your point. It's either I'm singing it or I'm speaking it in a British accent. There's no in between. Something about, I don't know what this would be called, but is that a plant? Would that be a plant, like a string plant or like flowers? Like the thing in the background is really pulling me in. I don't know, babes. I also think it's interesting that I had said so much about like the heart chakra healing on that fertility card. And then there's this one, like this green orb in the center. It's almost like those of you that are attracting new relationships, platonic or romantic, you are starting to kind of like heal a part of your heart space through these connections. All right, so this card signifies the possibility that deep spiritual initiation, partnership, or union is taking place at this time, or is manifesting for the future. This doesn't always necessarily represent a love affair of the heart, but it could signify other forms of relationships in your life, whether they're personal or business related. Remember, not all partnerships have to be one-on-one. They can be forged with a group, an organization, a pet, or even an incident or a situation. For some of you, this could be like a pet. Yeah, vines would be a good term. Thank you. I don't know why my brain could not brain for a second. Some of you could be deepening a relationship you have with a pet, like maybe you're bonding on a deeper level. Take that how it resonates, okay? Or some of you are about to get a pet that you're going to bond with. I don't know. The Harmony card is calling to let you know that it's time for you to make choices in certain relationships. The bonds you form with others are really about you. Even in the most difficult situations, they're meant to be mirrors for you, always reflecting back to what you need to see. Ask yourself, what am I learning from this relationship? What new qualities am I developing? Is this partnership for my highest good? How can I make it stronger? Are we teaching each other something? What have I discovered or am I still uncovering about myself through this union? Are the people in my life empowering and encouraging me to be all that I can? Within every relationship, there's an encoded lesson that you've hopefully gleaned, or in some cases, one that you still need to learn. This is obviously the Lovers connected to the tarot deck, okay? And then this last card is that financial and material changes. So once again, I do see this being a positive change, but I do see like a big lump sum of money having to go somewhere. So for some of you, this is car maintenance. Like I'm seeing your car needs like new tires, or you have to get some sort of like expensive work done. They just showed me like transmission or engine work, which would be insanely expensive. At that point, it might be better to just buy a new car. I don't know. It depends on the price point, obviously. Others of you, this is once again like a home of some sort. Whatever the case may be, the return on investment is worth the lump sum of money that you have to don't out. Okay? Daunt out. I don't know why I said don't. What is that song? I see no shame, but I was born and raised by the boondocks. One thing I know. Looking it up, putting it in chat. I think it's called Boondocks, but yes. Excuse me. All right. So once again, this is financial and material changes. This number 5 physical card represents changes, challenges, and losses, usually related to material or financial concerns. You may be losing some of the things around you, but you must acknowledge and know that besides existing as a physical being, you're an incredible and resourceful spiritual energy. Use your powerful forces within to help you through this difficult period. Everything changes for a reason, and this time isn't meant to be a punishment. Know that your current conditions will transform you for the better. A positive question to ask yourself now: what did I learn from this, and how can I avoid it in the future? Remember that there are lessons to be understood in everything. It's up to you and you alone to decide how long it will take you to learn them. So for some of you, I feel like a pattern that you've been, I don't want to say trapped in, but you've definitely been in a loop surrounding has to do with whatever this lesson is that you're learning financially. So like example, let's say you just like worked really hard to save up some money, and then all of a sudden you have to put money into something else unexpectedly. You could be taking a step back from this and recognizing, you know what, like 4, 5, 6 years ago, I would not have had that money to be able to do this thing. And I feel like it's helping you to kind of change your perspective, especially for those of you that feel like you just took a hit financially, okay? This wasn't a hit. This was an opportunity for growth. It was an opportunity for you to see how far you've come from where you were. the example that they keep giving me actually is like some of you might have to take your animal to an emergency vet. There might be like some sort of unexpected like expense when it comes to one of your pets or your fur babies. Nothing bad is going to happen. Like your fur baby will be okay, but it is going to take a large chunk of your savings that I feel like someone, whoever this is for, you've worked really hard to achieve that, but you need to understand that it's a test of your faith to see, are you going to fall back into an old pattern with this, or are you going to rise above the cycle? And if you rise above this cycle and you look at it from the perspective we just talked about, I feel like it's going to help you to kind of flourish in an even bigger way and attract even more abundance. Now, the pet thing is not going to be for everyone. For some of you, this literally is your car needing maintenance. Maybe you own your own home already and there's some sort of unexpected expense at home. Take it however it resonates, of course, but whatever this is, it's nothing you can't handle, okay? This is your dog. She just had 3 seizures and had to get on heart medication. Okay, there you go. So that probably cost a lot of money. But I feel like whatever the experience, just know that it's going to come back times 2 is what I'm hearing, at least. Usually it would be times 3, but you know. Also, it's interesting you guys are experiencing this around this time, like almost a year to the date last year. My dog got really, really sick. I'm not saying what happened to me is going to happen to you, but I think it's interesting because we were also in a Mercury retrograde last March. So I think the energy is definitely shifting some stuff. It's always worth it when it comes to a fur baby. Absolutely always. All right. So I want to talk about this combination first before we dive into the rest of the tarot. This was a beautiful energy. This is saying that a beautiful chapter of your life is opening up. There's more nourishment, there's more opportunities, but this is blocking it. Okay, so for some of you, there is something that needs to, I'm hearing the term full circle moment. Something needs to close, okay? When the death card shows up in the reverse position, this is a huge indication to me that you're going through a transformation and you're doing a lot of internal purging. But I feel like one of the things that Spirit is saying here is there is a lot of resistance to change, even though you are doing the inner work. That resistance to change is blocking this from happening. It's blocking you from opening up to the potential of your life. And I feel like because the Hanged Man is going to go on top of this death card in the reverse position, this is Spirit's cheeky little way of saying, hey, the more you allow space for this transformation, the more you let go, the more you stop trying to control the narrative, the more you surrender, the more abundance will come. You just need to have a little bit more faith in yourself, is what I just heard. Something about the snake on this card's imagery is barely pulling me in as well. Snakes to me are about rebirth. I know that people see them and they automatically think like temptation and manipulative energy, which can be the case sometimes. But to me, snakes are more representative of a rebirth because if you think about it, they literally shed their skin. And if you're shedding your skin, what are you doing? You're becoming reborn. Some of you are resisting that. Some of you are resisting your rebirth because you're afraid of what your next chapter is going to look like. You're afraid of this fertility. You're afraid of the abundance. You're afraid of the success. Some of you have some pretty extreme imposter syndrome. And the imposter syndrome is actually what's standing in the way of you attracting what you want in life. I get it. Okay, I get it. We all struggle with imposter syndrome. I don't know a single person on planet Earth that doesn't struggle with it in some regard. But I feel like one of the things that's shifting for you is perhaps you're starting to kind of recognize that your resistance to change and your inability to allow space for that is actually what keeps you stuck in stagnancy. This is going to be a little triggering for some of y'all. You're going to get mad at me. That's okay. Remember, I'm just a messenger. Okay, I'm just the delivery person. We are frozen again, which I find interesting. That is double confirmation. Please hold. I will fix that. As I'm fixing that, I'm going to say this. Some of y'all need to recognize that you are your own worst enemy because you are allowing laziness, and yes, I say laziness in the nicest way possible. You are allowing yourself to be lazy instead of pushing past it. So sometimes you have to do the shit that you don't want to do. And that can mean like the simple household chores or paying for shit that you don't want to pay for. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Sometimes being an adult means doing things you don't really want to do. And I know that sucks, okay? I do. But letting it just sit and linger and fester is what creates stagnancy for you. So some of you need to be a little bit more mindful of, I don't love the term laziness, but that's what they keep repeating. Yeah, like literally, it's procrastination at the end of the day, right? Like maybe I wish they would give me a different word, but they're not giving me a different word. So instead of letting something sit for like days upon days upon days upon days, just doing it when you have the momentum and in the moment, even if you don't have the energy, pushing yourself through it sometimes is exactly what you need to do. And I'm not saying you need to do that constantly. It's about an ebb and flow. It's about a balance with that. So recognizing when you should be pushing through that energy and when you can let something sit so that you don't burn yourself out, which is something that each individual person has to learn on their own. It's not something that is one shoe fits all. This is a life lesson that each individual person goes through on their own path. And this is scarily accurate. Oh my God, you're so welcome. You got me on that. I mean, I get it. Is this play about me? I'm sorry, y'all. I get it. Because, like, we're all human and we all do stuff like that. Like, it's a normal thing. I have ADHD. Do you not think I procrastinate? But I feel like some of y'all need to recognize that your procrastination, the part of you that is a little bit lazy, is the part of you that's actually blocking the change that needs to happen in your life. And it's creating more stagnation than it needs to be. Sometimes you literally just have to push yourself to do the thing. And I know that sucks, but it's also being an adult. Excuse me. But again, balance with that is important because if you overdo that, then you're going too far over the deep end. There's always that sweet spot. It's not always all or nothing. Sometimes you need to just be a potato and that's absolutely okay, but you can't overdo it. You know what I mean? Because too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Anywho, I digress. Something about this image is really pulling me in. What did I say? Like someone is seeing some truth about a person. This could be, I hate this, but it could be your mom. Like, there's just something about the older feminine energy here. Look at how, like, cheeky, how sneakily they're, like, creeping around. And if you've seen Snow White, you know that she wants to steal her youth and her beauty. For some of you, this isn't necessarily an older person. This could be someone in your age range that just doesn't love themselves the way that you love themselves. Like their internal image and how they see themselves is this. Which ultimately is really sad if you think about it. If that's how someone sees themselves, that's heartbreaking. Okay? And it's also not yours to fix. It's also not your fault that they see themselves that way. There's something about, like, bundling something, like, taking a bundle of something and, like, kind of, like, look at this image, y'all. She's got this, like, bundle of wands, and she's kind of, like, hee, and, like, running off with them. What did I say? Where were we? I don't even know where we were when I talked about somebody that is trying to stifle or take your energy or your light or your blessings. Like, take it however it resonates. Obviously it's going to be different for everyone, and this isn't going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. They do keep giving me the she's a narcissist energy again, which I don't love, because again, I feel like that term is thrown around way too loosely on the internet. And I also think that a lot of the time people will call someone a narcissist when they don't actually know what that means. And the person's not actually a narcissist. They just have, like, really shitty toxic traits because they haven't healed. I know you don't like pulling negative energy, but oh my God, I want to know more. But I feel like I know. You probably do. I don't like pulling on that stuff because ultimately you're just feeding it. You know what I mean? But in a traditional sense, with this being the Seven of Wands, some of y'all have been experiencing some definite hardships and challenges in your finances. I feel like a lot of you have been focused on financial security and finding more structure and abundance within yourself in a financial sense. But I feel like you kept facing a blockage. You kept facing a hurdle. Every time you would get like a leg up, all of a sudden something would kind of pull the rug out from under you. Take it however it resonates, of course, but confirmation. It's like we were just talking about, like, let's say you hit a milestone in your savings account and then all of a sudden your car needed like a major repair, or one of your animals had to go to the vet, or your house, like, I don't know why I keep hearing like water heater, like water tank broke, like things like that. Could have just unexpectedly kept happening to you every time you would hit that milestone financially. And I feel like there was a reason for that. I don't know. I don't love that I'm hearing it builds character, but that's kind of the vibe that Spirit's giving me. It's almost like you kept experiencing these blockages and these challenges as one, a test of your faith, but two, to also show you how resilient you are, how capable you are, how moving past your shit is possible. I don't know how to word that. I also think it's interesting that we have the 9 of Wands on top of the 7 of Wands. I don't know why I find that so cheeky, but I find that a little cheeky. And I feel like it's because, like, in a traditional sense, the 7 of Wands is challenges, it's obstacles, it's ego battles, it's competition, it's blockages. The 9 of Wands is a test of your faith, it's boundaries, it's resources, it's resilience, it's persistence, it's courage. And it's almost like Spirit saying all of the shit that you dealt with was in order for you to recognize that aspect of you, especially financially. Okay, so those of you that have been blocked financially, you've been feeling tapped out financially, you've been feeling strugglesome financially, that was all to show you that you could overcome your trauma. Some of you could have poverty trauma, and I feel like what you're doing right now is healing that. Also, is this a video game, Tapped Out? I feel like that's a game, because I keep seeing it. Tapped Out. Haha, I forgot that was a thing. It's the Simpsons game, like the mobile game. Oh, apparently it officially ended in 2025. It officially shut down permanently on the App Store in January 24th of 2025 after 13 years. Too bad, because now I kind of want to play it. But to be fair, no one played it anymore. I keep hearing that, like, one thing I know, I was born and raised on the boondocks. Some of you could be coming back to who you are, your authenticity, shifting back into yourself, maybe taking pride in where you came from. Take that however it resonates. I'm so sorry. I'm going to turn a little bit to do this because, you know. Anybody with a septum piercing can understand my pain when it comes to blowing your nose. It is not a fun experience. Anyway, moving on. We're going to talk about the spiritual strength now, especially because we just talked about, like, facing some sort of a challenge and an obstacle within your finances that was actually leading you towards something better. It was showing you your power and helping you to break the patterns surrounding financial inconsistency or poverty. And I feel like this is even more confirmation of what I said in the very beginning of this reading today. This past cycle for you, this lesson that you've been experiencing, was about you learning how to lift yourself up above trauma, above patterns, above shit, is literally what I just heard. Something about empath energy, I don't know. Take that however it resonates. I have really bad allergies, so, like, the more the weather gets warmer and things start to melt and all of the stuff comes out, the more I get like this. Also, the older I get, the worse my allergies get, which is weird. You know what I forgot? I forgot that this was the 9 of Pentacles. So, like, this is even more confirmation to me of what we just talked about with the challenges in your finances. Because the Nine of Pentacles is an omen of financial stability. It's being at a place of comfort in your finances where not only are you financially independent, but you can start living a life of luxury. You have so much prosperity and abundance that you can shift into this really beautiful chapter. And because it's being clarified by this Four of Wands, that's even more confirmation to me. I feel like this collective, you have started to attract the life that you've been manifesting. Or you're shifting into it. You're stepping into that chapter of your life. I don't know why. I just heard she's doing this on purpose. Like, what? This is a bit of a side message. Some of you need to reflect on, okay, I don't know how to explain this. My traditional women, you need to reflect on how you view other women because you could be projecting some of your mom trauma onto other people. So, like, example, you could have grown up with a really emotionally immature parent, specifically of feminine energy, who would treat you like their sibling versus treat you like their child. And I feel like because of that, this collective has a warped perception of women and what feminine energy relationships look like. There could be even some internalized misogyny here, but there's something about, like, I don't know why, but that message of she's doing it on purpose is kind of giving me this vibration that, like, if you have a thought like that about someone, you need to reflect upon where that's coming from within you. Because it's very unlikely that person is doing it on purpose, okay? You need to take a step back from that ego-based energy and ask yourself, where does this stem from? And a lot of you are going to recognize that this is coming from your toxic mom, who kind of taught you to look at other women as competition instead of support systems. And I'm not saying that there aren't shitty women out there. There's shitty people everywhere. But I feel like this collective needs to start really honing in on, where am I projecting my wounds from my childhood, and where is the reality? Where is it real? You know what I mean? Taking a step back from that is going to help you see it. Especially those of you that dealt with, like, really shitty friendships. I feel like you've repeated this pattern for quite some time, and it's time for you to acknowledge the part of your shadow that ties into this cycle. Which is so much easier said than done. Nobody wants to take accountability, baby. Nobody wants to look at themselves. It sucks. I shouldn't say nobody wants to take accountability, because some people do. It's just nobody wants to acknowledge their own bullshit, because that's shitty. And then you have to sit in it, and then you have to own it, and then you have to process it, which sucks. But I feel like this collective knows that that's how they grow. That's how they heal. So in order for you to shift out of this cycle, you need to start asking yourself those questions. And I'm not saying that you're not right in some instances, because again, there are shitty people everywhere. But I feel like a lot of you are projecting your mother wound onto people in your life that don't really deserve it. And again, there is some internalized misogyny in that. So, like, unpacking where all of that comes from and why you feel the need to compete with other women might actually help you to move forward in this next chapter of your life. Whew. That was a lot. I need a moment. Like, the way I just felt like an anchor, like, lift off of my chest is crazy. This is a really intense reading today, y'all. And it would be one that's not recording. So I'm like 50-50 this is going to actually post on here. I'm going to be really sad if it doesn't. But if it doesn't... Anyway, back to the tarot. We have, once again, the aspect of the Nine of Pentacles is such an omen to me that, like, a lot of y'all are shifting into an energy of, like, comfortability financially. Especially with this Four of Wands going on top of it. Like, you are about to be in such a secure place. You are about to feel so at peace with your life and yourself and your comfort and the success. And if you do have some changes happening financially, like, some of you have a change in, like, a bill that you have. So this could be like a rent bill, a car payment. Something could be going from, like, a lower number to a bit of a higher number. Take it how it resonates. Or the other way around. I feel like it's not likely the other way around for a lot of you, though. There's something about, like, a new bill entering in. I just heard entering the chat. So, like, something that, like, you're not currently having to worry about. And I feel like it might trigger you in the beginning, but it's not going to be long lasting, is what I just heard. Because you are shifting into like, even the Four of Wands is like comfort, it's success, it's prosperity, it's celebration, it's reaping rewards for the effort that you've made. And I feel like because it's on top of that Nine of Pentacles, this is even more confirmation for a lot of you. This is about financial success. This is about stability in your home life and in yourself. Interesting. I feel like there's a combination with the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. We're going to look. Something about no longer feeling shame about where you came from or your past could also be important for this group. Especially because now we're moving into this like harmony and the Ten of Swords with the King of Pentacles. And remember how we talked about at one point, I don't remember when it was, I'm sorry, but we talked about how this collective was in the process of healing their heart chakra. I feel like for a lot of you, there could be a relationship that is entering the chat that is actually going to help you to heal some wounds from your past. And it's because whoever you're attracting or whoever's coming into your orbit, whoever this King of Pentacles represents, this person is much more stable than anything you've ever experienced. This person is much more aligned with who you are. And I also feel like they're going to teach you some things. This person's going to teach you financial security and structure. On another note, I also feel like this is about this collective. Like, this is even more confirmation to me. And this is on top of the Harmony card, which is why I feel like it does correlate to another relationship. But I feel like this group, you are closing out a cycle of codependency when it comes to relying on other people to take care of you financially or to take care of you in general. Take it how it resonates. And part of what this is closing out for you is actually you shifting into this position within yourself when it comes to your own finances. So putting yourself in that energy of the King of Pentacles, being your own boss, being grounded in yourself, attracting financial stability in a way that is very lucrative and mind-blowing is what I just heard. Okay. No idea. But like, look at how content he is too. Some of y'all are attracting someone really powerful. This person is either very well off financially, immediately just saw well endowed as well, just saying. Others of you, they are just very stable in themselves financially, and they're going to teach you how to achieve that. Maybe both. I don't know. We're going to grab two more from the tarot, and then I'm going to pull from that Spirit Secret Message Oracle. Interesting. Too many. Although that was the Queen of Wands, and in this particular image, I'll try to find it and show y'all. So we have the Ace of Wands. There is a really positive change coming in. I want to show y'all the Queen of Wands from this deck. She does not want to be found. There she is. Remember how I said with that Seven of Wands? Notice that it keeps focusing in and out. Interesting. Remember how I said with that Seven of Wands that there was a woman in this collective's energy who could be a little bit envious of their beauty and their youth? This is confirmation. For some of you, once again, this is your mom. Others of you, this is not. It doesn't matter who it is. What matters is the energy is there. And Spirit is saying you need to cleanse it. Okay. Anywho. So we have the Tower with the Ace of Wands. I know that the Tower gets a really bad reputation, but it actually happens to be one of my favorite tarot cards because the Tower shows up to show you that change is inevitable. Change is something that is always going to happen. And it's either something that you can hone in and take control over, or it's something that will take control over you. So how the Tower crumbles is really up to you, okay? So I feel like this collective, one of the things you're being guided towards right now is recognizing that if you take the initiative to make the changes happen in your 3D, you're going to move towards this energy here with the Ace of Wands. Some of you are triggered at the idea of change right now. You're triggered at what might happen or where your life might go. But I want to remind you that, like, even if the tower crumbles in kind of a negative way, it's still going to lead you towards an awakening and a positive transformation. And for a lot of you, this positive transformation is bringing in some sort of an opportunity that's going to inspire you to move your life in the direction that you want to. It's going to help you gain a new start. It's going to help you shift into a more creative energy, and it's going to bring in more adventure and passion in your life. Something about an inspirational spark, a jolt, if you will, I just saw in my mind's eye. I'm also seeing some sort of like message. This could be like a messenger, meaning like maybe spirit communicates something. I don't know. Whatever is happening right now, my loves, it is freedom. It's also interesting that the tower is on top of the Hanged Man and the Nine of Wands, which, if you remember, underneath the Hanged Man is the Death card in reverse, and underneath the Nine of Wands is the Seven of Wands. And the tower is usually a representation of destruction of the old. It's tearing down the old ways of thinking or being or patterns, etc., and making space for something new. It's change that leads to freedom. And I feel like for a lot of you, the freedom that you are gaining is coming out of this cycle of resistance, of stagnation. You're starting to surrender. You're starting to let go, and recognizing that the more you shift forward, the more abundance comes in. I like that. All right, so I'm going to pull from this one here, which is called Spirit's Secret Messages. Most of the time, these are self-interpreted, but like if messages come through, I'll obviously deliver them. Something about recognizing the root of evil. I don't know. In my opinion, that's money and capitalism. Yeah, look, there is rapid movement. If that's not confirmation to that Ace of Wands, I don't know what is. Spirit wants to remind you that you're on the right path. I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before, but I personally don't think there is such thing as a right or a wrong path. I feel like whatever path you're currently standing on is exactly where you need to be. It's exactly where you need to go. And trusting the process is what's going to lead you there. We have channeled the energy of the full moon. I don't know what exact date that lands on, but I know it's in April. We have a new moon energy on Thursday, so perhaps some of us need to utilize that. New moons are really good for manifesting, so if you have anything that you're trying to call into fruition, like example, if you want more money in your life, during that new moon would be the best time to manifest it. Full moons are about release, okay? We have Spirit says to trust your intuition. Trust the path that you are on. Abundance and prosperity lies ahead. The path is clear. Go for it. Your intentions are set and sent to the universe. This situation requires all your energy and time. I don't love that. Do not give up. If you just had a question, no, this will not succeed. Or the answer is no. Take that however it resonates. And yeah, and then you have this is a short-term solution. Well, that was today's spread. Do we have any questions? I might pull from the self-care deck to end things off, actually. Because you can never have too much self-care advice. Hello. So I'm going to pull from this one before we end things off. This is the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. Because once again, you can never have too much self-care advice. All right, right, what do we have, Spirit, for this collective? What else do they need to know? What self-care should they practice moving forward? So we have look for fairies. I do like to remind clients when this card comes out that fairies can be tricksters, but if you are into that, then definitely go digging into them. We have create art, whatever form of art that is for you, okay? Whether this is drawing, painting, pottery, writing, cooking, baking, whatever, DIYing. We have grounding yourself. I would recommend for some of you doing the traditional meditation where you're visualizing roots coming from your chakra system and going into the earth would be beneficial. Whoa! Connect with your ancestors. Also can be done through meditation, through communication. Some of you are being guided to make an ancestor altar if you don't already have one. If you already have an ancestor altar, maybe sitting in front of it, meditating, connecting with them, chatting to them, whatever. We have spending time with animals. It reconnects your roots is what I just heard. We have intuition. Some of you are being guided to intuitively create. I don't know what that means. I'm going to assume it means letting your intuition guide you to creative outlet. We have sweet treats. What did I say about baking? Does anyone recommend what to do or what to put on an ancestor altar if you don't have any of their things? Don't overthink it. Whatever you feel called to is what you're supposed to put on it. So if you want to put random crystals on it, then put random crystals on it. It's your altar space, babe. They're just going to appreciate the gesture. You just found a hagstone at your favorite hidden nature spot. The lore is when you look through the hole, you will see fairies. So I've been having fun with that. That's cool. We have write a gratitude list. So starting to incorporate a gratitude list in your day-to-day practice could be very helpful for this group. And if you already do this, just a reminder to do so today. Writing 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for on a daily basis will actually not only help you to open up your mind and your intuition, but it's going to help you to see things in a more positive scope. You could also be being guided towards soaking in the bath. A spiritual cleanse. And then we also have flow like water. So learning to go with the flow of the energy around you and your life. The bottom of the deck, we have energy work. They are pulling me to the chakra system here. Never, ever, ever pay for this. You can do this yourself, okay? Through meditation, through ritual practices, through spells, whatever you feel called to do, all right? But that's what I have for everyone today. Yeah. Do we have any questions? A candle and a glass of water are really helpful. I mean, some witches say you can put all the elements like earth, fire, water, and air on your altar space, but in my lived experience, they don't care. And maybe that's just my particular ancestors, but you've only had showers for the past 6 years. Perhaps you need to make book a hotel or something. I don't know. You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry you missed it. Is there a reason you may be scared to do the witchy thing? Society, probably. I also think that's really, really common in the beginning of a spiritual journey. Like when I was a baby witch, I had some fears surrounding doing spell work because I was scared I was going to do it wrong. I was scared I was going to hurt people. I was scared it was going to backfire. And then I kind of realized all of that was just fear-based and it wasn't reality. Yeah, you can also put things that remind you of your ancestors on your altar space. I have pictures of my dead friends and relatives on mine. You don't have to have any of their stuff. I do, but you don't have to. That's pretty normal, my love. We all go through that. I went through the same cycle. You just have to push through it. So one of the ways that I pushed through mine was I would do more self-love focus spells in the beginning of my spiritual journey. I still do that, but you know what I'm saying. I would start to do a pink candle spell for maybe self-love and things like that instead of incorporating other people in it, which I still don't do, but if you choose to do that, it's your practicing your prerogative. But yeah. 11:11. It is 12:10 where I live, but I love that you saw that. Well, I'm going to assume that was it, unless anyone else has any other questions before I end the stream. Again, as I said in the beginning, I really hope the VOD posts, but I cannot guarantee it because it did not record. I have to work on my storage on my computer right now. Thank you for that. You're welcome. Heart right back. You're welcome. Well, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you on Thursday for the stream where we learn to read tarot. I don't know what we're doing on Thursday. I would have to check the schedule. I'm real bad for that. I'm sorry. But I love y'all, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.